to talk more about the legal way, if you will, that may be compounding our immigration problems. Let's continue the conversation with former INS officer Michael Cutler. Michael, it's not always illegal immigration. It's using visas and political asylum. What is the latest? We've got, 9,000 Syrian refugees coming to the United States in the wake of all the strife there. Not all of them can be friendly, can they?
No, and they can't be vetted. I mean, think about it. How do you go about doing a background investigation on somebody who's coming from a war-torn country or comes from a country that's not friendly to us? I mean, do you think we dial up the Iranians and say, well, we've got this guy here from your country claiming political asylum. Is he a bad guy? I mean, how effective do you think that would be? Look at what happened with the Tsarnaev brothers. Even when we have a clear indication that these folks lied on their application for asylum. To qualify for asylum, the alien has to claim what's known as credible fear. If you send me home, I will face persecution or worse because of my race, religion, ethnicity, or political beliefs. So we have the Tsarnaev brothers who wind up attacking the Boston Marathon. We give them asylum. Within months, if not sooner, they go back voluntarily to Russia, where they claim they could not have returned to because they got asylum. Meanwhile, they're here, and here we are more than a year after the attacks. They just arrested their sister for threatening to blow up her ex-boyfriend. Why was she still wandering around the United States? Clearly, everyone knew that this family had lied on their applications. The 9/11 Commission warned that political asylum was one of the vulnerabilities easily exploited by terrorists. This guy Cansey, who shot up the CIA, 1993, applied for political asylum. Ramzi Youssef, first bombing at the World Trade Center, was granted political asylum. So we've seen this pattern. There was another guy from Eritrea who was smuggling aliens. According to the Justice Department press release, we granted him asylum within 6 weeks from Eritrea, and it turned out that he wasn't even in Eritrea when he was purportedly running for his life. He was in Guatemala smuggling aliens into the United States. There is no integrity to this process, so the terrorists have come to understand that they can use America's compassion as a weapon against us, and they are.
And along those lines, you call this entire topic essentially the president's gift to terrorists.
Absolutely. Because if you're willing to make it easy for these folks not only to gain entry, but embed themselves, and that's why it's so insane to be giving people identity documents without even a face-to-face interview. Think about Edward Snowden and how the president and members of Congress, both parties, both the House and the Senate, screamed about how Snowden's background investigation was conducted, screamed about how the Navy Yard shooter in Washington had a security clearance. These same people are willing to provide sight unseen millions of aliens who, let's face it, entered without inspection. Immigration agents refer to somebody who ran the border as an EWI, entrant without inspection, which I think sounds a lot more serious than simply undocumented, and it should be. It's sneaking in. Would you get on an airplane if you saw people sneak past TSA? We are now living with millions of foreign nationals whose identities and even countries of citizenship cannot be verified, but we're granting them lawful status. We're granting them driver's licenses in many states with the asylum policies. We are undermining our own national security. And a quick final thought here. Look at the business about the enhanced interrogation techniques, and I agree that we had to do whatever we have to do. But if we're willing to resort to that, why weren't we willing and still aren't willing to resort to common sense enforcement measures where immigration is
Bottom
concerned?
line is you don't have enforcement. You have, at the very least, bureaucratic inertia, and it could get a lot worse. Thanks very much.